Hi everyone, I'm Taylor Hawks. I run the wildlife conservation for hunting and fishing for EarthX, and today I'm here with a good personal friend of mine, Anthony Samadani.
Thank you.
So Anthony, you run Good News Network, so why don't you give us a little bit of a story just about your early career, how you got into and what is Good News Network?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, yes, I co-own Good News Network, but it was founded in 1997 by this amazing woman, Jerry Weiss-Corbly, because she was so sick of the toxicity that was on the news then. And she wanted to combat it after her kids, raising kids, so she taught herself HTML coding, popped on this website, and has been running it every single day, 7 days a week, with her son or her daughter. Because of that tenacity, without spending $1 on marketing, it's the #1 search site for good news. We have 3 million uniques a month and almost 1 million open emails, and just all organic, sharing good news. My past life, I've been an entertainment attorney, a film and TV producer, and I had been diagnosed with a disease and was looking to really focus my attention to reduce my inflammation and what I was consuming. And so I searched for good news, and I stumbled upon this website that was sharing good news from around the world and instantly started feeling better. I didn't know then what I know now, which is 2 to 5 minutes of good news a day lowers your cortisol levels and reduces inflammation and heart disease. So just like you want to eat right and work out, you should always get your good news in. And through years of working with her and helping her out, now in the next 6 to 12 months, you're going to see this global GNN studios. We'll be doing films, television, podcasts, unscripted games, and really elevate. And that's why I'm here, because under one of our categories will be Good Earth as a category.
Excellent. So would you consider yourself a hunter or a conservationist or anything in the environmental space?
Conservationist, for
Conservationist.
sure. I mean, I like to fish when I can. I mean, it depends on what, I guess, the definition truly of a hunter is. I mean, we took my kids to Belize this summer, and we had honestly, it was an incredible experience spear fishing and getting some lobster and eating them. And so, but to me, I think you can be both, actually.
Wonderful. So, you've clearly built a really successful career on storytelling and telling stories from multiple different angles through multiple different types of media. So, hunting typically has a little bit of a negative stigma around it. So, how, in your world, from your career experience and your life experience, should we talk about and use storytelling to, change the narrative around hunting?
Well, I mean, you backtrack and just say storytelling has how mankind has elevated or inspired, for better or for worse, from day one. I mean, look at the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, anything, it's storytelling. And you can move people one way or the other. So whoever controls the story controls the narrative, controls people's emotions, as we see in today's environment. So if anything, storytelling is always a way to inspire or enact change. I always say that once I got involved in Good News Network, I was really looking at, we had like 30,000 articles. And these stories are evergreen. Sometimes we'll repost a story that happened 3 years ago today, and it does better than it did 3 years ago. It's not hard news like that, right? What I notice is good news is really bad news gone good, right? Like you say, cancer bad, cancer breakthrough good, right? Like kid under a car bad, grandma lifting it up good, right? Like it's drama and then there's hope. And a lot of times in that process of storytelling is where you can uncover truths that aren't necessarily what you perceived. I know one of the thoughts that you asked me earlier, but off stage was, I remember going to, we've all heard of Jack Link's Beef Jerky. It's a family business. And Jay Link, the son, and John, they had a little family dispute, let's say. And Jay invited me over to his house, his mansion, and I walked into this room, like the size of and it was like a safari of stuffed animals, right? And he was like, I pride myself. The safari tours I go on, the hunting tours and all this stuff. He's like, hunters are the biggest conservationists in the world. I said, what? He's like, yeah, we are the biggest. And he went into this whole thing of something that completely dispelled what I was even thinking. Because, you think what you hear about these hunters, but then when you talk to them, you realize how passionate they are about, he's like, we spend more money on this, we spend more protecting this, we spend more of it. And it really opened up a world to me of the commitment to that world that, as I said, most people just either see black or white. And so with Good News and what we try to strive for is what's that gray or what's that middle where you can start bridging narratives that people can have their guards down to like have empathy and learn.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, as you're using some personal experience from talking to the Ling family to kind of understand more of the conservational backbone of what hunting truly is, how do you think other hunters and individuals like myself, EarthX, Trammel Crow, how can we promote our stories to work on our storytelling so everybody here in the audience, but then also around the world can understand what hunting and true hunting conservation is?
I mean, that's a great loaded question, but again, I think it doesn't matter whatever your storytelling is. It's why are you doing what you're doing? You can talk about the how we hunt. You can tell about what we hunt, but why do you hunt? And so I think if you're authentically understand why you hunt and the reasons why you do it, and it comes from a heartfelt place without an agenda, then that will be felt by others. And so those authentic stories of why, people will begin to possibly see. They don't have to agree. I don't know if it's about preaching and trying to change. It's less about changing someone from a non-hunter to a hunter, I'd imagine, or a hunter to a non-hunter, but more about just understanding why. And as a hunter, understand why one might not want to believe in hunting, right? And perhaps listen to their side. But yeah, telling those authentic stories on why one hunt. As I listened to Jay and his. I would never, in the dark, I would not be in this room. It was like really scary. Like I would think something might come out of me. But his why was so authentic and why he does it and what drives him that I fundamentally believed him. And I was like, man, I support what you do. So as a matter of fact, we were going to do a reality show on that. Oh, really? And that's why I was there. But the dispute with his family became a little bit too nasty, so we decided not to do it. But anyway, that was the reason. It was like none of us producers were hunters, but we felt this compassion to tell that story. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So our perspectives are definitely going to be slightly different. I grew up in a hunting family. I grew up going to a Western Kentucky farm, deer hunting with everybody in the family, granddad, all the uncles, and even working the land. And one of the things we were talking out back was that hunting goes further than just hunting for population management and population control, but it's habitat, it's water. And one of the things you've been working on with Niagara, which is another partner of EarthX, was this wonderful documentary about water conservation and the importance of that. So would you mind spending a minute or two just kind of talking about what you were trying to accomplish with that documentary and some of the basic topics there?
Well, so that's a great example. So Niagara Bottling, I met them about a year and a half ago, and this is a $5 billion a year revenue family-owned business, not small. But they have a nonprofit that does so much good. I mean, their water conservation and what they pour in, and I just sat and we're in LA, and a lot of plastics, all the things that they fight against with plastics and certain things. And so I sat and I said, you know what, we need to document all the good that you do, but before I do that, let me go get a director who's I'm talking about like a massive environmentalist, someone who picks up plastic from the beach, and let me see if they would agree to do this documentary. And I did. And we got this award-winning director who said, you know what, I really fundamentally believe in their science and what they're doing and how they're trying to make it work. So we shot this beautiful 20-minute doc for them, and it will be on EarthX TV, and it's won some awards. And but that was an authentic. It wasn't me just to placate. It was really, man, this family really believes in water conservation. But if you take it as a black and white, and you just believe only what you hear, then you may just dismiss it. And so it's a great example of a company that's doing a lot of good, but has the potential stigma that people might read into it. So we are proud to do that documentary. And by the way, we put it on GNN, we put it on Ecosystem, and got incredible feedback, which, again, we took a chance that, we'd get perhaps some slack. But no, I think the way we did it from an authentic storytelling perspective works.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, unfortunately, we're going to be out of time today, but I wanted to thank you once again, not only for our great friendship, but your continued support of EarthX and all of the good that you're putting out into the world. And I'm really, really looking forward to the global brand of Good News Network that you're building, my friend.
Let's do it. Get your guys' 2 to 5 minutes a day. Thank you.